Breaking news! The Broncos are making waves again, and this latest move may be the biggest hint yet at what's to come. With the offseason in full swing, the team has strategically cleared some salary cap space, and signs are pointing to a big acquisition. I'll tell you everything we know so far, but first, hit the like button if you agree that the Denver Broncos have what it takes to make it to the next Super Bowl. If possible, comment like this: "Go Broncos! I believe in the Super Bowl." Well, what will the Broncos' big acquisition be? Whether it's a veteran wide receiver, a proven running back, or another surprise move, one thing is clear: the front office isn't sitting back. The question is, are the Broncos about to make the move that will finally take them to the top? Let's break it down. Denver managed to free up an additional $3.2 million in salary cap space, bringing their total flexibility to about $20 million. That's a considerable amount of room to make some noise. With speculation heating up about what this means for the team's next move, the possibilities are endless. Could this be the time they bring in an elite pass catcher to complement Courtland Sutton? Or are they eyeing a game-changing running back to help solidify the offense? One thing we do know, this move isn't happening in a vacuum. Lil Jordan Humphrey's departure to the New York Giants left a noticeable hole on offense, especially considering how essential he was as a blocking receiver. Despite the mixed reactions from fans, there's no denying that Sean Payton valued Humphrey's role, even choosing to keep him over Tim Patrick. His departure leaves the Broncos in a position where adding another receiver makes a lot of sense. And that brings us to the burning question: who's on the Broncos' radar? Denver has reportedly explored options ranging from Amari Cooper to Keenan Allen to Stephon Diggs. Each of these players brings something unique to the table. Cooper's crisp route running and ability to carve up zone defenses would add a new dimension to the offense. Keenan Allen, despite being older, remains one of the most polished receivers in the league, with elite hands and route-running precision. And then there's Stephon Diggs, a dynamic playmaker who, despite his diva reputation, could instantly elevate the Broncos' passing attack. But let's be real, does Diggs fit the culture Sean Payton is trying to build in Denver? That's where things get tricky. Payton has a history of steering clear of high-maintenance personalities, and Diggs hasn't exactly been known for his low-key demeanor. Still, if the Broncos believe they're just one elite receiver away from turning the corner, could they make an exception? Or maybe Denver is looking in another direction entirely. With the departure of Javonte Williams, the running back room isn't as deep as it once was. Could a veteran like J.K. Dobbins be on the radar? A strong, experienced presence in the backfield would take pressure off the passing game and provide a security blanket for whoever is leading the offense. As we inch closer to the draft, the timing of these moves suggests that Denver is setting itself up for something big. Whether it's a trade, a free agent signing, or an unexpected twist, all signs point to the Broncos making a statement. So now it's your turn, Broncos country. What do you think? Should Denver go all in on a veteran receiver like Cooper or Allen? Or should they take a different approach and shore up the running game? Drop your thoughts below and let's get the conversation going. And here's where things start to get even more interesting, because this isn't just about adding a single player. This is about a shift in philosophy. Sean Payton isn't building a team to just be competitive. He's crafting a roster designed to win now. And that means the Broncos aren't just looking at this move in isolation. This is about setting up a domino effect that could reshape the offense entirely. Let's take a step back and think about the implications. Denver's offensive identity is still a work in progress. With a young quarterback stepping in, whether it's Jarrett Stidham or someone they bring in through the draft, this team needs to surround him with weapons. Losing Humphrey, a key blocking receiver, means the team might be leaning toward a more dynamic passing attack rather than relying as heavily on the ground game. That's why names like Amari Cooper and Keenan Allen are so intriguing. Cooper is the kind of receiver who thrives on precise route running. He's not the most explosive athlete, but he understands spacing, he finds soft spots in coverage, and he's a reliable target in critical moments. If Denver wants someone who can bring stability and intelligence to the receiving core, Cooper is the move. But then you have Keenan Allen, a player who, even in the later stages of his career, continues to dominate with his ability to create separation. Allen is a technician, the kind of player who doesn't rely on raw speed but instead beats defenders with his footwork and intelligence. Pairing him with Courtland Sutton could give Denver one of the most refined receiving duos in the league. And then, of course, there's Stephon Diggs, the ultimate wild card. Diggs brings a completely different skill set. He's a playmaker, someone who can take over a game when he's locked in. But, as we've seen in both Minnesota and Buffalo, he comes with baggage. Does Payton really want to bring in someone who might disrupt the locker room? Or does he see a player who, if he buys in, could be the missing piece to an offense looking for an identity? But let's not forget another potential scenario. What if Denver is looking at all of these moves and thinking, why stop at just one? With nearly $20 million in cap space, Denver isn't limited to just one acquisition. They could target a receiver and still have enough left over to make another move in free agency. That's where the running back conversation comes back into play. J.K. Dobbins remains an interesting option. Injuries have slowed his career, but when he's healthy, he's a dynamic, downhill runner who can handle a significant workload. And with Javonte Williams no longer in the picture, the Broncos could use someone who can take pressure off the quarterback. A strong run game would also help open up the passing attack, making life easier for whoever is leading the offense. But here's the real question. Is Denver looking for a short-term fix, or are they trying to build something sustainable? If they go for a veteran receiver, they're making it clear that they believe they can compete now. If they opt for a running back, it suggests they're focusing on balance. But what if they decide to roll the cap space into next season and go all in on the draft instead? That's where things get unpredictable. If Denver doesn't make a move soon, it could signal that they're waiting to see how the draft unfolds before committing to a veteran. It could mean they're planning for a long-term rebuild rather than a short-term push. And then there's one more wild theory floating around. What if the Broncos aren't done making trades? NFL insiders have been whispering about potential trade scenarios, including the idea that Denver could make a move for a younger receiver rather than signing a veteran. That would align more with Payton's history, finding undervalued players and turning them into stars rather than paying top dollar for aging veterans. One name that's been floating around in trade rumors is George Pickens. But let's be real, Pickens is a major risk. He's got talent, but he's also shown immaturity, and if Mike Tomlin couldn't rein him in, do we really think Payton wants to take on that headache? Denver has worked hard to build a culture of accountability. Bringing in someone like Pickens could disrupt that. So here we are, Broncos country, at a crossroads. The front office has positioned itself perfectly to make a major move. The cap space is there. The need is clear. Now, it's just a matter of pulling the trigger. What do you think Denver should do? Should they go after a proven receiver like Cooper, Allen, or Diggs? Should they look for a bargain in free agency and save some cap space for the future? Or do you think they have a bigger move up their sleeve that we don't see coming yet? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's get the debate going. The next move could define the future of this team, and it's about to go down. But let's not forget, Denver's cap space doesn't just allow them to go after a wide receiver. They could also be setting themselves up for a move at running back. J.K. Dobbins is an intriguing option, especially with his ability to be a dual-threat weapon. If healthy, he could be a perfect fit for a Sean Payton offense. And if Denver isn't completely sold on their current quarterback situation, a stronger running game would help take some pressure off. So, Broncos country, now it's your turn. What's the best move? Go all in on a veteran receiver? Shore up the running back position? Or hold tight and wait for a bigger opportunity? Let us know in the comments, because the next big decision is coming soon, and it's going to change everything.